Okay. Questions. Oh wait. I forgot. Cake! Peter is... That's sad, you're not getting any. Sorry, boo. So, it's my birthday. It's my birthday on January 12th, and I never celebrate anymore. I don't really celebrate any days. Christmas, New Year's, my birthday. But I think a big part of that, or a big reason for that, was because I was just not a happy person. But I am a happy person now, and I want to see what it's like to try. So I got candles, and I got cake. I'm gonna make a wish. I'm gonna make a wish. 2023. Of course, there's a Peter here. Alright, excuse me. I'm gonna be chewing throughout this. So if that's a thing that bothers you, go away. Okay, I'm ready. Are you ready? If I miss you and you're very sad about it, let me know and I'll save it for next time. I say that every time. I don't have the best memory. If I miss you, please ask me again next time. And maybe let me know that you've asked this before. Yeah. What is your ethnicity? We talked about that in detail in the last Q&A, but I'm first generation Canadian. Peter's at my feet, making weird sounds. As usual, first generation Canadian. Both of my parents are from Jamaica, born and raised. And then on my father's side, his father was born and raised in Jamaica, and his father was born and raised in Jamaica, as was his mother. And it goes pretty far back there. But his mom was adopted. She was brought over from New York and then was raised by a Jamaican family in Jamaica. And then my mother's mother grew up in Wales, but is from Ireland. And then my grandfather is Jamaican. And yeah. My mom is half black, half white. My dad is white. He's mixed up with some things as well. So yeah, my brother for my birthday, I think, is gonna do a DNA test. Find out what we are, thoroughly examine, just because it's interesting. I feel like there's a bunch of random little bits that are also running through my blood. Curious to find out. Someone actually messaged me recently on Facebook and said that we were distant relatives and showed me her family tree that she was working on, and it was wild. Do you take online posts and comments seriously? Yes and no. I definitely feel and appreciate your love and support, and when you share your personal stories and experiences, I take those seriously. As far as any misguided, negative whatevers, no. I know that that's not about me. I mean, really, nothing. None of the comments are truly about me. We're all kind of living in our own bubbles and our own experiences, and what we put out is our stuff. Even if it involves other people, it's not about them. So, no. But I take you seriously. take you guys seriously. Another question, asking where my parents are from. My parents are from Jamaica. I love that. I love that about myself. I love that my parents are from Jamaica. Jamaica is such a wonderful, it's just beautiful and wonderful and full of fruits and people and blue skies and food. And there's other things. Nowhere is perfect. But remember, romanticized. Jamaica has been romanticized because I wasn't born there. But my family, my parents are both from there. So I think that I almost have this like fairy tale version of it in my mind. And I'm almost like afraid to go back and have that fairy tale like ruined. I'm still gonna go back though. How's your life going right now? Pretty good. Online post, seriously. Waffles or pancakes? Obviously pancakes. Actually, okay, let me seriously consider the question. I think still pancakes. Waffles just kind of feel aggressive. They're like the aggressive version of pancakes. They do have like the little sauce holders, I guess. But I don't need those. Pancakes absorb. Moist. Saucy pancakes. Have I lived in Vancouver since I was a kid? Yes? No? Kind of? I've never actually lived in Vancouver. Most people from the lower mainland, as we call it, I think most of us just say that we're from Vancouver because most people haven't heard of like the other like municipalities, the other cities. So I was born in Richmond, and then they moved to North Delta, and that's where I grew up for my childhood years. And I guess for my own safety, I'm not going to tell you where I live now, but it's around. I feel like I'm giving you a hug. Let's have a hug. Okay. Kid or a baby? Kid or a baby? Well, I don't know that I ever want to birth a child, like bring someone into this world. Kids are expensive. But if I get that in order, if I am like ridiculously financially stable and have money to put away, if I have all the monies, and if I've, gotten to a place where I really feel that it would be responsible to be the caretaker of a human, then yeah. Either way, adopt or birth, I suppose. But I feel like there are so many people that need love that are already here. If I'm gonna be housing small humans, then some of them I would absolutely love to have some that didn't come out of me, or all that didn't come out of me. This question though. Not yet. How old were you the last time you went to Jamaica? It was a long time ago. I need to go back. That would be a freak. That would be so cool. But yeah, it's just not in the cards for any time soon. You have any embarrassing stories or situations? Do I? This is so good. Do I find people don't get me? I think that is a built-in symptom of being like neurodivergent, or maybe just being human, or maybe being a woman. I don't know. I can't speak for anyone else, but feeling like no one gets, like really understands, that's been something that has that used to eat me alive, until I kind of came to terms and realized that no one ever will, no one ever could. There's just no way. No one has and will ever live the life that I've lived. And it's the same for you and them and everyone else. I'll never know what it's like to be you. I'll never fully understand your pain or your joy. I'll never know what each emotion really feels like for you. We have names that we share for them, but I'll never know. And you'll never know mine, you know? But maybe I shouldn't have eaten like half a cake for breakfast. How did I get into voice acting? Well, my darling, I've told this story quite a few times, and I'm going to tell it again with zest. So, once upon a time, there was this girl who had come back from Hollywood, and no, that's not even how it goes. Basically, I was working a job. I was working really, really long hours, like 16 hours a day, a few days at a time. I was not well. I was very depressed. I just, oh gosh. And then work was just like so emotionally tolling. So I was like, I need to also do something creative, something that really like feeds my heart and gives me some life. So, taxing was the word, not tolling. That's what I wanted to say. So I went on Craigslist and I was just looking for voice gigs. Anything voice related. I was happy to sing, I was happy to act, I was happy to voice act. I just wanted to use my voice and my microphone and the skills that took me forever to, acquire when it came to recording myself on Logic. And I saw a post on Craigslist from Psych2Go saying they were looking for voice actors, and I emailed, and I also sent some music, as I always do, shameless plugs. And Ty, the founder, emailed me back sometime later. I can't remember how long. I think it was pretty quick though. And he was so kind, so supportive. He wanted me to send in an audition, I think, if I hadn't already. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Maybe he gave me a script to test out. And then once that was done, they brought me on board, and he said that he was happy to support my music in any way that he could as well. And that was just like meant everything to me, to have someone that was like succeeding and making their very much out of the box dream come true, see me and see something in me where they wanted to bring me in. When it's your baby like that, when you're creating something out of nothing, like Psych2Go, something that really matters to you, something where you want it to be of service and help others, you have to really protect it. You have to be really careful with who you bring in. And so it was an honor and is an honor and a privilege to be a part of the team and to see it grow the way that it continues to grow. That's how the story goes. That's how the story went. I'm now the voice of a few things. Almost don't live check to check most months off of my voice. So that's cool. That's the story. Wow. If you get a chance to be reborn again, which country would you like to be in? It's not where I thought that was going. Well, I don't know. Wherever's clever, but I have always been curious as to what it would have been like if my parents didn't leave Jamaica. So I guess I'd try that one out. I'd test out being born in Jamaica. Biggest role model in life has always been my grandma Tess, Teresa Thomas. She was a really cool woman. Oops. Uh-oh. Was your voice this angelic from the start, or did you work on it? Could you then kindly tell me how can I improve my voice as well as achieve the level of beauty that your voice has? Thank you. Very kind of you to say. I think that you should really respect whatever comes out of you naturally. Really get to know that. Really get to feel it. Sing. Just use it in all the ways that you can use it. Really form a relationship with it. I think through all of the years of singing, it helped me really understand vibrations and placement of my vocal cords and breathing. But like my thing is that I'm not putting anything on. This is my voice, and there are things that I can do with it, but for the most part, this is just what comes out of me naturally. And I think that unless you're doing like character work, it's important that there is authenticity behind your voice. We are vibrational beings, and your heart has vibrations, and you have to integrate those vibrations into your voice. So keep it real. Okay, there's 3 questions in here. What's next in 2023? I don't know. I have some hopes and dreams and stuff. I want to continue working on a couple projects that I started last year. I believe that is happening, so that's exciting, and eventually I'll be able to tell you more about that. It's a burp. I want to open a little online store to sell not so much merch, but like things that I've been creating for myself that help soothe and calm me. I want to share those with you. I just have to figure out how to make it all work. This year is when I really take responsibility and take action and make my entrepreneurial moves. We can't wait for people to do these things for us. We gotta figure out how to do them and do them. So that's the game plan. I'm so sorry. I feel like a sweaty, full, gross mess, and I still... I turned the heat up because I was so cold, but now my dad's calling. Hello? What's up? What type of music do I play? Have you guys heard of Jazz Fruits music? There's playlists on Spotify and Apple and probably all the places, but it was promoted on Instagram. But like it's really good. There's Jazz Fruits and there's Sleep Fruits and there's like Relax Fruits. I don't know. It's like all by this like little watermelon guy. I'm sure it would be so cool if it was made by a little watermelon guy, but I think it might be made by a human actually. I've just been very much into no voices, no people, just soothing, calming sounds. I'm melting! Many people ask serious questions, so I'm gonna ask one that is not. What's your favorite pizza? It depends. If I'm eating pizza with someone, my favorite pizza is whatever they want. I don't care what you have to say about that. I enjoy sharing people's joy. I love seeing other people enjoying things. I enjoy that. So it's less about the pizza and more about the presents. But if it's just me, I don't have a favorite. It depends on the day. Sometimes just plain. Someone put me on to no cheese. I thought I would hate that. I don't. What's my most hated form of transportation? Flying. Flying is so scary, but you gotta do it to get to the places. Flying. And just the whole process. God. I haven't been in an airport in so long. Oh, frick. That's how it works. You gotta go to the airport to go in the air. And I plan on doing that this year. So, thanks for reminding me. Just kidding. What are your top 3 things pending on your bucket list? I want to build houses. I want to build quite a few houses. I want to be a part of, whether it's funding or like the science, and I don't know, I want to be a part of creating solutions, and through creating those solutions, also creating like new good things. There's so many things like where we have like all of this waste. We need to figure out what to do with the waste. We need to, stop things from producing this and turn, oh God. I want to make the earth happy again, and it's gonna take a lot of work. What software do you use for your video editing? I don't even know how to pronounce it, but I use Movavi. It's free. It's very glitchy on this computer because it's like old and I can't upgrade it unless I pay for it, but I'm not gonna pay for it. So I don't recommend it. Or I do. I don't know. Do what you want, but that's what I do. And if you do it, it's just so frustrating. You need a lot of patience. It teaches patience, and that's kind of also why I've stuck with it, because I feel like it makes me a better person. How do you get by? What makes you think I get by? Do you have a part-time, full-time job? Yeah. Sometimes I work all day, every day for weeks and weeks. Yeah, I'm really starting to fizzle out. I am a full-time voice artist, content creator, so I do contract work, voiceovers for commercials and games and shows and YouTube. That's my main source of income. So it's you never know what you're gonna get or how long a booking is gonna last, and that's cool. And I still sing, so I write demos, record demos. Sometimes I will just get paid for my vocals and remain anonymous. And I also act. So here or there, I'll book an on-camera little gig. I'm hoping for a lot more of those this year. Have I considered working in dubbing? You'd be an awesome voice actress for TV shows and cartoons. Yeah, I want to do all the things. I would love that. I've auditioned for things like that. The show must go on. How do you think your closest friends would describe you? Passionate, emotional, stubborn, loving, caring, weird, silly. I hope. How do you feel about outer space and stargazing? Like, do you ever stare up into the sky and just watch the stars at night? Yeah, that's everything. I wish I could do that, like, just forever. I love that. It's so cold right now, but sometimes I sit on my little balcony deck and I'll just watch the stars and the satellites and try to figure out what's what. And there are sometimes shooting stars, and those make me feel alive. I could use a shooting star right now. If I could change one thing about human behavior as a whole, what would it be? And is this betterment a characteristic that you already possess or an aspiration for the future? One thing about human behavior as a whole, well, something along the way made us all start acting as though we aren't all connected and aren't all one, that if they're hurting, that isn't affecting you. No. As long as people are suffering, it's affecting you. Somewhere, molecularly, we're all connected, and I think that I would change whatever it is or was that made it so that we have to protect ourselves from one another, that we feel like everyone, or not everyone, but that, just, I guess I'd get rid of racism to start, and sexism. What are the good isms? I can't think right now. Leave a comment down below. And I guess whoa, I don't feel good. You did this to yourself. I refuse to believe that eating a whole cake on your birthday is a bad idea. Yeah, okay. What do you do in your free time, like when you're done recording voiceovers? Record more voiceovers. I don't know, I like to sleep. I like to take baths. I like to walk. I like to journal. I like to dream, and I like to plot and plan and scheme for the future. I love creating. I want to live my life making, serving, and giving things that make existing here a little bit more pleasant for all of us. What activities or games or tricks does Mr. Pancakes like to do? Does he have a favorite snack? Mr. Pancakes likes all snacks. He is a goat. He eats everything. He gets in trouble. Yeah, but what Mr. Pancakes loves is his cake. He loves his cake. Do you love your cake? You're gonna go. This is his cake. Oh no. And it's all he cares about. He doesn't care about anything other than this stupid cake. Like, mother, like, what kind of music do you listen to when you relax? Do you have your songs in your playlist? Like my songs by me, or the songs that I love? If you search my name, there are playlists with my music. I don't think that's what you meant, though. I have a bunch of playlists. Let me just show you this jazz. No, not jazz. This fruits fellow. There's a dog hair on my nose. Piano fruits. Jazz fruits. And there's a lot. Oh, what's this? That's lo-fi. Jazz fruits. Piano fruits. I think there's also sleep fruits. Yeah, sleep fruits. So there's a lot. Oh, I didn't mean to add you to that list. But yeah, see? Forever. I just say, hey Siri. No, shh. No. I say, hey Siri. Play Jazz Bowl playlist on shuffle. And just let it do what it do. That's been what I do when I need to just chill. What's the most important lesson you've learned from your past relationships? Don't get into a relationship if you're not ready. And by not ready, I mean if you are sad and lonely and broken and traumatized, don't get into a relationship. Build on your relationship with yourself It's dangerous. You can be abused. You can be manipulated. You can be taken advantage of. You will always get hurt. Don't do it. Take the time to heal, get to know yourself. You have to get to a point where you really see your worth and your value before you bring someone in. They're not going to make it better. You've probably got a messed up attachment style. You need to work on that. Just take your time. What gets you motivated for the day or for a project, even if you don't think you have the energy? You feeling like there is something that I can do that might make you feel better. Your encouragement, you telling me that what I share matters to you or makes like life a little bit better. That gets me going. And I also I know that I'm not alone. I know that we're all dragging ass sometimes. We gotta do what we gotta do. Just do it. Do the work. Starting is the hardest part. And it feels incredible to get something done, especially when you didn't want to do it, but you did it. Okay. Shh. You're gonna get me? No, stop it. Where is that coming from? That was almost like on cue. Okay. And it's done. I don't know where that was coming from. This one's really standing out to me. Literally just remember this, but don't know if you'll be able to answer it. For someone who has depression, to your knowledge, is it possible for them to not always feel depressed, but still have depression, where it just hits them at certain times or go through certain episodes that last longer than others? When this happens, how can you tell if you're struggling or purposefully putting yourself in that situation? Kind of asking from personal experience. First of all, if you honestly think that anyone would purposefully put themselves through that discomfort, I'm here to tell you that we don't. Anytime that you're feeling that way, it's real, and you're not doing it on purpose. No healthy mind would choose to feel that way. So we can cancel that. Stop blaming yourself. That's what it sounds like you're doing, is almost like invalidating your own feelings. Or maybe someone else did that and you're taking it on. I think that I know that depression is a spectrum. It's unique for everyone who experiences it, though there are, things that we can relate to. There are some common symptoms. But the way that it hits you and its time frames, they don't make sense. They don't make sense. Don't try to make sense of them, because you can't. And that's part of depression, is trying to make sense of it. And there is no sense. It's hormones, it's chemicals. It is illogical. And it's unfair. And it sucks. And it is hard. But it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And yeah. Let me just go back to that question. For someone who has depression, is it possible for them to not always feel depressed? Yes. For sure. I've known depression my whole life, and I've known it to come in waves. And it's like there's a wave, and then you drown, and then you swim, and then you come up for air, and then another wave hits you, and you drown, and then you swim and come up for air, and then sometimes you get to float for a while, and sometimes you find a raft or a boat and you chill on that, and sometimes it brings you to an island and you go hang out on the island for a while, but then you end up back in the water somehow and another wave comes. You drown. Repeat. That's kind of how it goes. Even with medication and therapy and all those things, there are going to be waves. And that's just life for anyone. But especially with imbalances and invisible illnesses, it's tough and it's not fair, but it's going to be a little bit more challenging for us. But it makes us stronger, and it makes existing here, it gives it more texture, it makes it more colorful, it makes us appreciate certain things that much more. I just think it makes us beautiful in our own way. Oh, don't you dare, screensaver. So yeah, is it possible for them to not always feel depressed but still have depression? Yeah, it hits at certain times. Yeah. Certain episodes longer than others when this happens. Yeah. So how can you tell if you're struggling or purposefully doing it to yourself? If you're feeling the pain, you're feeling the pain. You're going through something. You're not doing it to yourself. With practice and support and tools, you can get better at recognizing most of the time. Sometimes it'll still just hit you, or life will just be crazy and it'll knock you over and you'll have to find your way back up eventually. But for me, having more tools and kind of like staying on track for longer stretches of time, like 2022 was the longest stretch of not completely drowning of my entire life, and I'm proud of it. And it took work, and I think that because of these longer stretches, I became more familiar with staying on the island above ground with air to breathe that I didn't have to fight for. So when I feel like my island is starting to sink, I'm able to catch it before I'm drowning and, take the steps, get better sleep, eat more nutritious food, get outside, move my body a little bit more, journal more, ask for help. It's just how it goes. But don't blame yourself. Please be kind to yourself and acknowledge how strong you are. It takes something that only you can ever fully appreciate and understand. It takes this strength and this I don't even know how to explain it, but it really takes something special to pull yourself out of those drowning spells. I can appreciate how hard it was for me, but I can't compare it because you're you and I'm me, but you're pretty cool. Okay. I have a geeky question. Are you interested in any STEM-related projects? If so, what are your favorite? Science, technology, energy. What is it? Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I love them all. Science is my fave. Mathematics, but then quantum, like physics, is pretty cool. But yeah, I would have to say science. Technology, I think, is so cool, but like I just don't get it. It's wizardry to me. Engineering kind of encompasses a lot. I mean, all of these do: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It's hard to pick. can I just love STEM as a whole? What's my favorite? Yeah, I can't do favorites. I just can't do it. This is not a question. Okay. What is it then? It's a compliment. Thank you, Amale. Is that how you... Amale. I think that's how you say it. Thank you. A recent bit of study and meditation showed me that vulnerability is the capacity to be hurt and grow. It is the essence of faith. What advice do you have for those who struggle with this? I struggle with vulnerability, and you're saying that you believe that it is the capacity to hurt and grow. I don't know if that is what it is. It is what it is. It is. It's scary. Growing is painful and scary, and hurting is hurting and scary. And what's the other part? It's the essence of faith. Having faith that you will find your way through the pain and the growth and come out better for it. Evolved. I guess that's true too. What advice do you have for those who struggle with this? Yeah, well, I guess just do it. No, don't just do it. No. Sometimes you're not ready to be vulnerable. Sometimes it's not safe to be vulnerable. Sometimes your intuition and your gut is right to tell you to not be vulnerable. So, I think that if you are feeling, if you're feeling fear, or if you aren't sure about your safety when it comes to your vulnerability, that was a weird shape. Consider that. Think about it. Feel it out. Who hurt you? What hurt you? Are these fears logical? Are you ready to grow? Are you open to the next chapter? I don't know. For me, when it comes to being vulnerable with new people and with you, if it doesn't feel right, I don't do it. And it took a lot of life to know when and if that is just a coping protection mechanism, or if it's intuition telling me, guiding me. And when we're in fight, flight, fawn, or any of the other responses, when we're there, we can't really, it's really hard to know what's what. So we've got to do the work through that, whether it's through therapy or introspection or whatever. You got to do that work and get yourself out of that before you can gauge whether it's safe to be vulnerable or not. So if you can recognize that you're still hypervigilant or just dealing with something, some kind of trauma or PTSD or whatever it may be, I think that maybe you should protect yourself and save the vulnerability for a therapist. And for yourself, as you maybe dive into shadow work and revisit your, young self, be vulnerable with yourself and your therapist and people that you trust, I guess. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. Whew. I noticed you're a recording artist. Do you have any albums you've released that you'd like to share? Yeah, all of them. I mean, not really anymore, all of them. There's some music out there then I don't know if it should still be out there. It was from the time in my life where I was like, throw it out, who cares? And now I'm like, I care. So go listen to it before I take it down. Just search my name wherever you get your music, Amanda Silvera. I'm also the lead singer in a group called Normal Machine. It's spelled just the way it sounds. That's like rock, pop, rock, electro rock, punk, pop. It's interesting. I'm quite certain that it's not what you would expect from me. Yeah, there is an album from last year or the year before, or maybe the year before that. It's called Yosly, Yosly. I think you have to literally type in YOSLY EP, because I just, for some reason, wanted to make it impossible for anyone to find. I didn't. I wanted people to find it. I just was silly. But I'm quite proud of that project. Yeah, there's some good songs on that. But again, if you just search my name, all of my past and present works should show up. I also made some like really, really long, soothing kind of like study or meditation or sleep sounds. So yeah. What are your best and worst personality traits? Edit. Sorry if that's too personal of a question. My BPD just kicked in. Jeez, what is this? I hate that question, your best and worst traits. I think that my best and worst trait is that I care so much. Sensitive. I'm just so sensitive to everything. And that is a blessing and a curse, period. I have a few questions. You don't have to answer all. How do I feel about 2023? I feel good. How is modeling like before you were on YouTube? I love modeling. Modeling is like acting, but you don't have to say any words. You just get to become one with the space. And I guess whatever you're wearing and the props or whatever, but I love a quiet shoot where there's no music. Sometimes when there is music, and that's part of the vibe, but I think there's something special about photography and capturing moments and images, and it's cool to be a part of that. And for me, it's less about like, ooh, like center of attention model. It's actually the opposite. It's like your job is to become one with the moment. It shouldn't be all about, maybe it should sometimes be all about the model, but my favorite shoots were the ones where it was about capturing the moment. And how's my music career before starting YouTube? Yeah, it was up and down. Whoops. It still was. I think it was before YouTube. It was up and down. It was a roller coaster. I lived some dreams and some nightmares. And I'm just really grateful that I survived. Hey Amanda, hope you're fine and happy. 1, how would you describe yourself? I don't know. 2, what's the worst feeling? Worrying about someone that you love, not knowing if they're safe or okay or alive. Never mind. It's a 1 or 2. What's the worst feeling? 1, being insecure, or 2, anxiety. They're kind of the same thing in ways, but anxiety is just a broad spectrum, and that it gets crazy what anxiety can do to you. Like, I've almost passed out a few times because of anxiety. I haven't almost passed out from insecurity. Have I? No. When's your birthday? January 12th. Coming up. Favorite time of the year? Spring and summer. If I could only eat one food for the rest of my life, what would it be? I don't know, whatever was like most nutritious and like good for me. Like whatever was gonna give me all the things that I need. A coconut maybe? I know you walk Peter. Do I bring him where I go? To supermarkets? No. Peter's kind of a mean dog. He's cute and funny, but he was abused, and he's afraid of men, for the most part. Like, there are men in my world that are very patient with him and bring him treats and all of that, but like when they come through the door, he's going straight for their Tootsie Toes. Like, he wants to eat them, attack them, bite them. And it's really distressing. Whenever I have a male, whether it be my brother, or my dad, or whoever, they're fine if they're sitting still. Matter of fact, like, he loves them when they're sitting still. He's on your lap, he's asking for cuddles. But if you stop petting him, he's like a cat. Like, he's like nipping at your hands and coming for you. So I have to keep him away from certain situations. And he's not like a registered therapy dog, so where I live, you can't just bring your dog into like the grocery store around food. Aw. Hi Amanda, I'm looking forward to another Q&A. I have a question for you. How is that tree that you helped a while back? It had fallen over, you helped it back to its feet. Has it recovered? Stay awesome, Amanda. Lewis. The tree is still up and standing and growing, green, new life. We did have a few windstorms, I think last month or the month before, and because I check on it pretty regularly. I love that tree so much. And it had kind of fallen over, and it was so cold. I just wanted to like figure out how to get it back up, so I didn't like record it. But I ended up getting like a big rock and like untying the rope as best I could to like retie it and get it up, and I like dug out a hole to put a rock to help support it, and it was standing. I have to check on it. I haven't looked at it since then. I've been going a different route, but I will go soon. I almost went today, but I just felt so not good that I turned around and listened to my body. Came and took a nap. But I'll go check on it, and I'll give you a visual update and report. I love that you're invested in this tree like I am. I love that. Oops. Can you give us an update on the tree? The curls look fabulous. Thank you. If I would cook for you, what do you want me to prepare? No beef stew. Cook for me. Cook for me. Chicken. Or bake for me. Like a pie or a cake or like a loaf of some kind. Have you ever done any voice work for any major studios? Have you done any voice work for any major studios? I have. I think this year I'll be able to tell you, but I can't tell you yet. If not, would you ever consider it? Friend, what do you think? That's the dream. I want to do that forever. I want to wake up, put on a cool outfit, do my hair, step outside, smell the air, and head down to a place with people that make cool things and enjoy what they're doing, and like it's coming, it's happening, and I'm just like, how is this real? I just don't want it to end, and it doesn't have to. That's it. I did it. I made it through. Oh goodness, my cake is sweating, so am I. Oh my god, there's a raisin. I think for some people that might be upsetting, but for me it's great. I love a little juicy morsel. So I guess that's it. Peter, thanks for hanging out. Thank you all the new members. I am going to be uploading some I'm going to be uploading some special material just for you in the near future. Your support keeps me afloat, keeps me alive, keeps me inspired and motivated. Me too. Me too. Should we take a nap? I love you. I hope you can feel it. I hope you know it. I hope you believe it. Because it's true. Okay.